there we go. I've clicked it in. Crumbs. Honestly, it gets harder every time I try and bloody do this thing. Okay, so let's get some lights on the subject. There's one. There's another one. There we go. Surprised we have a bit of light into it. See what's going on then. Right then, let's have a look what we got going on here. Let's get that off. Right, let's put, oh, hello. It disappeared. Right then, hello if you're on there, and if you're not, I'll be there in a second. Let's have a look, see if I can see myself. Oh, it says I'm live. Go me. Let's have a look. Who have we got? Welcome. Oh, Diane, look at you being first on there. Let me just whack higher. Hi, yeah, there we go. Kiss, kiss, kiss. There we are. Boom. Hi, Ruth, Jan, Moira, Heather, Alison. Hi. I better put the other one on. Hold on. Hey, you're all ahead of me tonight. I've had a bit of a mo. It's all right. Well, you live. There we go. Let's have a. Let me click a button. Is it going to do anything? Right then. I'll be with you in a sec. That's what we got coming, all of you people in green or whatever. It's all good fun. Right then, add a description. What have I called it tonight? Let's have a look. What have I called it? Oh, I forgot what I've called it. Hi, Ruth. Play. I'll just put playtime. Play. Is that how I'm spelling? Yes, play. Play time. There we go. Righty-ho, done. Oh, whatever. There we go. Click, click, click. Right, don't forget, do your thumbs up and all that nonsense. It's asking me to become a member of my own channel, bless it. Hi, Sarah, Diane, Ruth, Moira, hello, hello, hello. Incy, Wincy Spider. Isn't it just? Hey. Right, let's make sure everyone can see things. Yes, I believe you can. Oh, dear me, I don't know what happened there. Decided to have a bit of a moment, that did. Right, okay, so Facebook's on, YouTube's on. Hi, Trudy. Hello, Cheryl. Hopefully everyone's happy with the position of that. That'll do, won't it? What do you reckon? That looks all right. Hello, hello, hello. Right then, so what time is it? It's 1 minute past go, mate. Mind you, I'm not really on a time thing with you guys now. It's only when I do 60 minutes of fun, it's 60 minutes and that's it. So for all of those that you have subscribed, and thank you to those of you that have. It's nice of you to see you supporting me. Bless your cotton socks. I'm going to do a full disclaimer with regards to that. So you pay $12.99. I don't receive the full $12.99. I just want to make sure that you're fully clear about that. I only receive a percentage of it, which I'm happy to do because it just means that people from all over the world can actually participate in the workshops, you see. So, hi, Jane. So that's why I've done it on YouTube, because everybody can get onto YouTube one way or another. So this is, oh, crikey, you go, you, Alison. I need to have the gossip then if you've got carpenter. Oh, blooming neck, there go you. So this is the one that I'm doing on the 27th of August. So for all of you that are on membership, and you've all got different colours on your names and stuff like that. So I can see you guys on the chat. You will have all on membership. It's private, no one else can see, and I'm not allowing it to be public either. So that means you'll have catch up. You can get into this anytime. I am going to be posting some more stuff up, different things as well. So you're not just going to have this one. You've already got something in there. I'm going to post something next week as well. You know me, I just like to create and I like to share with you. And when somebody's paying, I like to make sure you get value to the money. Okay, so now this one, 27th of August, I'm doing it at 2 o'clock in UK time. I will change these times, so I just want to make you aware of that. So this isn't going to be the time that I'm always going to do it. I just thought, you know, so I'll have a nice little afternoon with you guys, you know. And I think it's so it's one of them. Now, I've already had somebody say that they haven't got this stamp, so that's fine. So I will say to you is, anything that floats, so an upside down mushroom, an umbrella, a boat, anything. You could do anything there. So, you know, just because I've put Mr. Bot here, doesn't mean to say that you've got to do Mr. Bot as well. So anything that you want to float, you might even have a nice boat you want to use. So that's what I'm going to be using. And just so you got a good view, this is A5. Matte and laid goes literally into A4. ish, give or take. But I've got a really good deep, hi Sarah, an upside down, honestly, well, somebody said, what else can you use? And if you think about it, an upside down mushroom makes a great, if you don't take off the stalk, an upside down mushroom, and just put something in there, a fairy, a robot, whatever, will make a great sort of tub boat sort of thing, you know. So that's, I've done that before. I've put a cat in, and that I put that on Lavinia, and that went huge on there. So, you know, but that's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? Anyway, we digress. So this one is it's pencils, it's paint, it's oxides, it is loads, and there's a lot of media on this. So this means, hi Chris, so this means that you're going to be learning a lot of techniques. So it might not look this took me some time, this did, after as it is, just to get that up on, and it really does. There's no glitter, there's no a cup and a sauce. Yeah, there you go, perfect, Diane. So, you know, at the end of the day, there's lots of different things, and I also used masking fluid on it as well. I think the picture, I put this on and this on, and you guys that have got the information will know anyway. So, not giving too much away. That's for all you lot, but you're going to have something nice next week. I'm going to post you a little something. You know what I'm like, isn't it? I can tell it took up. No, well, that was because I was sort of and ahhing. Now, this little beastie, this little beastie, this was a quick make, this was. Which I'm going to put this out the way. So that's for those that pay for memberships. You've got that coming up. Now, for tonight, now, I have got, now this is all tickling over here. Oh, bless you. Now this, I used oxides, I used a stencil, I used a bit of pan pastel, and there's a little fly. In fact, there's 3 flies on here that Mr. Spider's after. You can see one there, there's one here, and then I've put one over here somewhere because I've lost him because I covered him. And then I've used on this now. I've used this. Now, this is a Fumi. This is, wow. This, I'm just starting to play around with this. I brought a set of 5, and I did buy them, by the way. I didn't have them sent me. But this gives me the wispy details. So, there's a, hi, Anthony. So, hi, Jan. You love the spider. Well, this is actually, let me get the template out. This is actually, Mr. Spider is Tracy's bulb stencil. The snippet stencil bulb. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to do a Black Widow. So you're going to do the same technique, but I'm going to do a different spider, because you know me, I don't like continuously. But if I've got chance, I will do this spider again for you on this card. Okay, just so you can see how to do this. But it is very, very easy. So we might probably have time. So what I used in this one, that's the brush and a half. Honestly, these are just like unbelievable. And I've got 5 of them. So this is number 1, and obviously they get thicker. But my gosh, this gives me the most delicate detail ever. So that's like proper. Oh, so Bose. Hello, Maggie Moo. Maggie Moo, Maggie Moo. Hope you're well, beautiful. Well, I'm going to message you later, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, so on this one, I used TE50, as you can tell, like I've done the other day, and I've done a bit of layering. And then there's my little fly, and that was off TE33. I knew Tracy got some flies somewhere, and I found this little devil. So there you go. I've never have thought of turning in the light bulb. Ah, yeah, but you see, there's my little fly. Back Heather is dealing with, oh, fair enough then. Well, I'm not blown away so far. Well, I'm not blowing away. Oh, fair enough then. That means that there's no winds. So I'm going to turn this into a Black Widow, and not very nice. I've looked at some reference pictures before I came on, and they're quite nasty little devils. Maggie Moo's fans a woofy woof and a sloppy lick. Oh, whoa, yay, yay, yay. Give her a big huggy cuddle back and tell her to run down the road like there's no tomorrow. Bless her with the joys. Honestly, she's such a diva. I love it. So I am going to do this into a Black Widow spider. Now, Black Widow's got red in. I just want to go for colours here just so you can, what are the cats up to? Oh, well, I dread to think they're probably disconnected next door's his internet. So just to go over, oh, she did, bless her, I'll just love her. Oh, hi, Nettie. So just to go over the colours I used on this, obviously I used my bleed proof. Wherever there's white on here, there's bleed proof. I did also use a little bit of the white pan pastel for the layering effect. I'm going to do this also on the black widow I'm going to do. Obviously I used black Versa on the stamping part. The rest is all freehand. So I know some of you guys don't like freehand, but that's what we're doing. Now, on here, I used aged mahogany. As you can see, the redder bits in places. I used vintage photo, ground espresso, and black soot, and that's what's on here. Okay, and then I used some pencils just to scribble over the body, basically. And then I actually did use an 02, but then I upgraded to an 05 with regards to just putting the hairs on, basically. And then with my bleed proof, I then used that whip of an amazing brush. I mean, just look at that for a brush. That's got to go in the gob. You just know it has. But yeah, that is like bam. So that's what gave me the cobwebs, and the cobwebs are very, very detailed. And I also done a little bit of a pencil sketch. Yes, thumbs up, people, wherever you're watching. So on that's that. So I am going to use an A5 300 GSM Super Smooth. Okay, and as you can see, it's 300 an A5 piece on there, matte and layered with brown, just to bring everything out. I actually used some grey, so that's actually an off grey card, which gives a fabulous effect. It just brings it out beautifully. And I think when you matte and layer in the right colours, it really brings the whole piece alive. So obviously on this one I use the browns. Other ones, bless you, other ones, just look at the colours and pull out certain colours. Okay, so this, let's play, let's do this. Right then, so first thing I'm going to do now, I am going to use SS8, which is the different bulb, because obviously I use this one first, and it's just that large area there that you're going to be using. I'm going to put that over here because, like I say, if I can get it done again, I will do. Now I want a big dirty spot. Now I'm really sorry if you're scared of spot. I'm not too keen on them myself, but I can deal with them. But I want the bum of the spider up here, because with bless yous, with the Black Widow, it has like this red marking, and I want to be able to put that red marking on, and I want to utilize this as the head part. So bearing that in mind, I have got a selection of brushes, and then all the Tracy Evans ones as well. So I am going to buff around and just put the stencil down very light of all. Okay, so you love them. Oh, bless. So all I'm going to do is just gently, now these give the most amazing blends. So I'm just going to have that bum up in the air, and all I'm going to do is just lightly. Now if you're unsure, literally tape off. Let me just, so if you think to yourself, well, I'm going to go over there, tape that bit off. If you think to yourself, I'm going to go over here, normally that's where it's going to happen, because that's the thinner part. It gives you a bit more brush room here, and then obviously you've got that little bit over there. And yes, I do reuse my tape, clearly, as you can see. I'm not made of money, but you know, and I know it's cheap and cheerful, but why, you know, if you can get another use out of it, do it. Right, so I am now going to go to town on our little Spiddy. Bless. Oh, little Spiddy. So I'm just rubbing nice and gently, nothing major. Now if you want to sort of go a little bit deeper in places, or just buff out places, do so. Now I know there's got to be red on there, but I'm just going to put, now this has got brown on from obviously what I used earlier, but all I'm doing here is just blending. Now if I want to show highlights on this, I'm going to put highlights around here, which will be like a light grey sort of thing. But because this is like plain, I can use whatever dark on here, brown, black sort of thing. Or what I'm going to do is I am just going to buff that undercarriage of Mr. Spiddy. What I mean, what can we call him? Well, but to be fair, Black Widow with red on, it's a she, isn't it? Oh, bless her. So if I'm going to bring that across here, and bear in mind that this isn't going to be a true shape, obviously, because it's a great big blob of a spider, basically. But when you do look at some different reference pictures, they do give a little bit more of a different detail. And I'm thinking that we can actually play around with this quite well. So I'm just going to pop a little bit more black on that. And if you think to yourself it looks a bit patchy, get your bigger brush if you can and just blend it if you need to. Just so you can't see any sort of harshness to it, okay? Yeah, oh dear me. Glad you've got the phone back. Honestly, it's a bit of a mad one when you're without you know, basics such. Right, so let me just put that on there. Put that on there. Now there's our light bulb. Ta-da! Now who'd have thought that Mr. Lightbulb is going to turn into what he's going to turn into? Now, this is the bit where people go, that's it, can't do it, I can't draw, I'm not going to have a go, whatever. I've got a HP pencil and a rubber, yeah? Any old rubber, well, it's Faber-Castell pencils, whatever. Go to the pound shop, get a rubber, get a pencil. Now, what I want to do is my Mr. Spider, for one, I know that this area here is where I'm going to put the red. And then I've got to roughly turn this into a head area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, yes, that's the body. Yep. So I'm going to bring that. All I'm doing now is just sketching on for where I think, yeah, that this is going to be. Now, I'm going to bring that round here. So, like I say, the thing what I love about Tracy is she doesn't mind us having a little bit of a pencil draw on her stencils or her stamps, just to sort of tweak things a little. And this is what I absolutely love. So let me just bring that around a little bit. So to me now, as you can see, all I've done, and I'm going to show you guys as well, is I've just rounded that area. And it doesn't look much like a spider, but you see these ridges here. And you see now I've brought it round, and that could quite easily be eyes, yeah? Now, with the head of this particular spider, this area here is more of hi Michael. I love it. This area here is more of a round. Now, this beloved spider is, like I say, it's not the nicest one, and they love to eat men. Gobble, 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 chomp, 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 and all the rest of it. These bits here I'm going to use to have the legs. So already we've actually got stuff there for us. So all I'm going to do now is I have just done a couple of markings. So I've got that round area there. And all this will come together, don't worry. So I know that there's the head bit, and then this is going into the body part sort of thing, yeah? So what I'm going to do now is, sketch-wise, I'm going to say to myself, right, so I've got to put him some legs on, and they've got 4 legs, bless them. And I'm going to do one. Now, mind me, because I might end up rubbing out and faffing and whatnot. So I've got to sort of sketch out. I'm going to say this bit here is going to go 1, 2, 3. Bring it down. That one, I'm probably going to go up. 1, 2. Now, the thing I love about spiders, and I know it's one of them with people, not everybody likes them, yeah? It's sort of the case of, well, I'm going to put my leg up here, and I'm going to take that over, and then it's going to go back like so. And I'm going to extend that. So the best thing with freehand is you can do a little sketch. If you don't like something, move it, yeah? Simple as that. So I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to extend it round. Because, hi Sarah, I'm going to sort of, I don't know, sort of take him into a different level, Mr. Spidey, right? So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. So 1, 2, 3 here, about from there. So I've just keeping the legs sort of in this area here, okay? Now this leg here is going to be more sort of, as I'm looking at it, more here, maybe down that to that to that. I want him to reach out to about here. So if I'm going to take 1, 2, maybe here, possibly, and then 1, 2, and there, probably here, and then bam, and then this one, maybe I could bring that up there and down, maybe. Or should I take it back? Oh, decisions. See, the thing is with having a light bulb as a body, I've got to see where he's going to have his legs, you see, which is a very interesting scenario. So you can tell I'm doing this totally sort of free off the top of my old brain cell. Somebody asked me earlier about my brain cell. I haven't really got much going on in there at the minute. There's only the one cell working, thank goodness, and it's the creative one, so we're all happy about that. So let me just go 1, 2, 1, 2. I want that going back here, and then this one, 1, 2, 3. This one here, 1, 2, 3. I want that way. I want it more forward. It's all right. I want him to have a certain angle. 1, 2, 3. That might be better. Let's see if we can put that together now. No, actually, I want it. It's going to have to go up. And this is the thing now. When you're looking at, you need to know where roughly your spider's legs are going. It's not probably what you want to hear, I'm afraid to say. I'll get there in a minute. This is the bit now. I was saying to Lisa, the small Christmas ball make a great hub. She has to try. Yeah, definitely. So this is something now what you guys can sort of look at and think to yourself, oh, I could have a go at that. Go on, come on, do it. I'd love to say you guys actually, you know, sort of go for it in regards to, I just want that leg out. Oh, this ain't happening. Let's have a look. Come on, my little munchkin. I can't put him little legs in. It's because he's got an extended body. Love it. Okay, so if I go like this now, 1, 2, 3. So spiders, bless their little cottons, they'll have sort of all their little bends in legs in different places. I'm going to have to do him that way, which isn't what I wanted. I wanted a nice little under. I really want them to have. I want him to go this way, to go there. Well, that might work. Yeah, that might work actually. Oh yeah, okay, that might work. Okay, that we've just changed it slightly, nothing major. 1, 2, and maybe like that. Yeah, okay, that's a bit better. I want him to sort of, I want to be able to put like a drop shadow on him, which probably means nothing to some of you guys. However, for me, I just want him to sort of look as though he's sort of reaching out and coming out, which for some of you won't probably like that, but it's okay. Promise. And then that, and then maybe down to there, and then this leg here, because really we need that to be a little bit more of a bump, but it don't matter, we will have it like so. I'll tell you what, we'll do it like that. There you go, got it. Okay, that's what happens when you do a bit of freestyle. Sometimes it takes a bit to do. See, it's great when you got a stamp and you just stamp it on and it's like ta-da, but I've chose to do it the hard way. I've chose to make a light bulb into something else, but it's okay. It's all part of the fun. Right then, so we've now got his sort of his legs doing something. He's doing something anyway. So what I want to do now is I sort of want to give him a bit of an undershadow before I do anything else. So this is going to be a bit of an odd one to some of you guys and probably think to yourself, what am I doing? But it's okay. I won't hurt you. I'm just going to put a bit of black onto this. And then what I want to do is literally probably around here. Well, that's where it's going to be now because that's where I've hit it. And then I'm just going to sort of, there we go. So I've now got the interpretation of something, definitely. And I'm just going to, little bits here and there. I can quite easily manipulate this as well, which is nice. Let me just bring that around there a little bit. That's a better. Perfect. So already it's a piece of paper. Yeah, it's only a piece of paper. Don't panic. It's okay. It won't hurt you. Promise. Promise. Right then. Let's put some parts to this little devil, because some of you guys are like really like, oh, what is it doing to me? So let's let me get a pencil out. Right, so Faber-Castell, polychromos, whatever you want to call them, they're pencils basically. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give myself an indication. Now it's sort of like a diamondy sort of shape that's sort of on the back of this spider. So it's a bit like Spider-Man really. So I'm just going to outline that a little bit there. So that's going to give me that sort of indication of that. And then here, I am now just going to be quite harder blacking sort of thing, because Mr. Spidey, he needs some sort of a head, as you do. And then what I want to do is I want to give him a bit of a highlight as well, because obviously I've put an undershadow. I'm going to actually give him a highlight. So this is where I always say, you know, think outside the box. Yes, think outside the box, because sometimes it's just great for you to sort of look at something and turn it into something else. You guys are always looking at things saying, oh, I can see this in your drawing. Well, today you're going to look at a light bulb and go, oh my gosh, I can see a spider. Well, that's the plan anyway. So let me just bring it up. Now, for me, Mr. Widow here, or Mrs. Widow, should I say, what I'm going to do is I am, as you can clearly see, I'm just being very rough here. And because a spider has got little hairs on them, I'm just having that as literally as an undertone. Now you could use charcoals on this. You could use a variety of different things. You really could. I just want a bit of a texture here. And that's giving me a different look. When you're looking at it now, you're seeing different sort of shapes. And that's roughly what, when you're drawing, that's all you're doing, is you're giving your eye a different shape to look at. And that's what I'm doing with you guys now. Because there's so many little hairs on a spider. And if I'm doing something that's sort of this more realistic-y sort of thing, you actually do want to try and capture a little bit of, give me the creeps. Oh, I'm sorry. At the minute it's a light bulb, it ain't nothing else. Until I start putting detail in, it really is just a light bulb. I'll try and keep it as much as a light bulb as I possibly can, because I know some of you guys do seriously have phobias, and I do not want to be somebody that gives you, you know, that sort of moment where you think to yourself, oh God, you know, I don't want that. That's not what I'm here for. But I am putting some legs on him now, all right, just to give you pre-warning, okay? So you can see all I'm doing is being very rough with the movements I'm doing. There's nothing sort of a spider's leg is like 3 parts. Daft as it is, they've got these little knuckly bits to them. So you can see I'm going 1, 2. A house spider come through the same crumbs. So you've got a little fan club then, if you've got a house spider that keeps coming in and coming to visit you. Now I'm curling these for a reason. I'm just going to take that one down there. Apologies if you can hear something in the background. It's not me, it's my neighbours. Bless them. And all I'm doing here is I'm just fattening little areas up. You'll see why in a minute. Okay. So, not too bad so far. We've got a light bulb with some weirdness going on. Bless him. It's a nice light bulb though. Promise. Right, so here now I'm just going to bring that down to a point. So there's that bit. Now I'm going to try and mirror this on the same thing. So on this sort of side, because we're looking at a different angle, and I sort of want to give you that sort of impression. Let me just sweep under here a little bit. That's better. I want to now sort of one to here. So there's 1, there's 2, 3 and 4. Okay. So right, I want to give this little leg here. This little piggy went to market, and that's probably not what you want to hear. Sorry. So I might see. This is the only thing with me when I start drawing. I do change bits as I go. So apologies. But it's all good fun. Yeah, I'm definitely changing that bit there. Yeah, definitely. Right, let me just bring him up here. Anyway, has everybody had a good day? I know Maggie Moo has. Bless her. Let's just bring that out there. Now you can put as much detail into this as you want. Now I know it's probably the wrong thing to be talking about, because I know some of you have got phobia, so I'm really sorry. However, for all of you that haven't got phobias and you like to do a little bit of realism, you know, please, you know, look at the detail that you can get on reference pictures online. There's some fabulous pictures out there. Now, with my little rubber, I'm probably going to smudge this to high heaven, but I ain't worried about it, because we have stencils, we have pan pastels, we have things that we can use. Yeah, I have the technology. Now, again, if you want to just come around this and just do a little bit here and bring it around there, do it. Do it. So there's nothing I love better than sort of freehand sort of where normally I don't do it like this, where I'm doing it in front of an audience. I'll sit and I'll get my reference pictures and I'll take my time. I haven't got a reference picture for this, so it's like that. I'd be more scared of a light bulb with legs than a spot. Yeah, exactly. I mean, can you imagine that coming towards you? Oh, dear me. It's a very good looking spider. Well, it ain't too bad, really, beans it's a light bulb, you know. Right, let me just, I'll tell you what I'm going to grab. I'm going to grab this. Not that one, that's a rubber. What is it, this one? Let me have a look. Permanent Colour Luminance Caran d'Ache. Oh, dear me. Saying no more. I will blame Mags totally for this. So I'm just putting a little bit of a highlight here. And then what I'm going to do here, because obviously this is like the back end sort of thing of the spider, I just want a little bit of shadowing, or just cast a shadow just around here. Now, again, we're all different. What you've got to do is think about light movement and how that light's coming down. And yes, it's a light bulb. You don't like the legs? No, neither do I. Trust me. So when I put the shadowing on this, you'll get what I've done. You know, it's one of them. But when you look at what stencils you've actually got some cracking stencils that you can do so much with. And I don't think you guys actually realise the amount of different things that you've got there that you can actually play around and use. So I've holding this long ways, and yes, I have got a long point on the end here. And all I want to do here is I'm just going to do a little bit of a rough shade before I actually pop that red in. Now, You can use a load of different things for that red. I have got the brush marker pro, Karen's. I've got the zigs, so that's red. This is also red, fire red, and then obviously I've got a pencil set. So let me just have a bit of a quick colour, and all I want to do is just block out this area here because I just want to put this red in. And I am going to use, I'm going to just quickly grab, don't know what that is, let's have a look. Where's red? It's always at the bottom. Just when you think you have a house spider, it means you, oh yeah, well, this is it. Bless the little cottons and all that. They love to just come and visit, don't they? Okay, that looks about the nicest red there. So for me, we're doing a base red here, because I'm going to probably put some other red over it, whether it be a paint. Now, the thing with these spiders particularly is they have a bit of a tendency to have the red that comes around and then under. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to see under because it's a light bulb. However, you can just put a little bit of a red sort of shadow over the black, which is great. And I'm just going to put a little bit of white around here as well, just to play around with this area. And I do want it to look like I've got a highlight going on there. And again, I'm just going to... So this at the minute, it's just looking really, really basic. And I love it because by the time it finishes with all the webbing and everything else around it, it looks totally different than like a really weird looking light bulb with something going on with it. It's all part of the fun now, isn't it? Right, so we've got an idea of where highlights are going to be, and we've got an idea of where colour is going to be. So we've got a little bit of red showing, and then we've got the red there. So I'm now going to put away these, because if I use any more red now, it's going to be paint. So I can let me just put that out the way. I dropped these once today. I nearly died. I thought, oh, crumbs. Sugar me dumplings, that's something I nearly came out with a lot worse, trust me. Okay, so something that's resembling a spider. Let me move that out the way. Right, I want to start bringing in some shade lines now. So I've put my black. Nobody told me what you like. I've took my black away and I need it. Right, so where I have got my little legs now, I've got an area that I know is coming down because I've already got little highlights areas in that. However, I now want to put in some sort of shade line which is coming towards our little mate, basically. So you've got to remember which way that's going. So I want it to go that way. And then here is exactly the same. And then obviously here we're going back that way. So now we're going to have that depth area, because when I put something over the top of this now, I've just got that, remember that I've actually got a little bit of shadowing that I can play around with now with that under part. So if there's anything I don't like about this, and you know me, I like to change things as I go, I can actually start to change this and play around with it. So that means I can put on, might have if I had something on it, there we go. I can now start moving and buffing and playing around with that little bit of undershadow now, because I can actually see where my little mate is. Bless him. There's his head, there's his body, sort of thing. And then if you wanted to, and if you're comfortable to, you can actually, you know, put a leg. But don't worry if you mess up or anything, because we're going to put stencil over it anyway. So this is literally showing you just different ways for you to play around and learn. So already now, I mean, I can really just blend that out. So we've got a light bulb which is sort of a Black Widow-esque, with a little bit of undershadow, but we're going to actually change that into a whole webbing and a whole sort of scenario now where you'll think to yourself, ooh, hello. And then we're going to put the detail in, which is going to be the legs, the hair and everything else. So just to give you a heads up, obviously with these little spiders, they have little hairs. So this is where now you're going to actually turn our little mate into something with hair. And this is where people might get a little bit freaked out. But this is where now, building up your detail, this is probably the longest part of it all. So you haven't got to put 20 million little hairs in if you want. And that's why I've done sort of that sort of scratchy sort of thing, because it'll just add that sort of look as I'm going along. And what I would suggest you do is have a decent pencil that's sharp, that you can actually, you know, turn it around as you're going, so the point's doing what it needs to do. Now I'm going to get Mr. Man. Well, I keep calling Mr. Man, but this is like a savage woman, bless her, you know. So I'm going to give her some fangs here. So I'm just going to, so I'm sorry if this is starting to freak people out now. Let me just put a little bit of hair around here. So it's just like little lines basically. And then here you can really go to town. And then I can put some paint on it and move it. So and that's probably what I am going to do, because I want that to be a bit more of a darkness on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put just little hairs here and there, inny outy sort of thing. And then where you got the knuckle, just give it a little bit of a point and pull it back. And then just so it looks like I've got that hair. And then again, I'm going to give it a little bit of a wiggle there. And then as it comes down and goes into that point, you can either do it with a fine pen if you wanted to, or just put the odd couple of hairs here and there. And I will go over it with one of the liners just to pull it out a little bit more. So I'm just going to quickly, again, just to give you that interpretation, because if I get a chance I can do the other spider, which to be fair I should have just stuck with. I should have found something a little bit more umphy for this one, to be fair, but it's okay. I like a challenge. Right, let's just put him a few hairs on. Fabulous. A little few bits here. And when you go in with the fine liner pen, that really pulls out all your little bits and bobs. Okay, so let me just do him a little bit of a wiggle here, and we'll bring him here. So it's surprising how easy it is to add those little bits of detail when you need them. So don't just think, I'd probably say doing something that's black is like one of the, you think, oh, it's dead easy, just scribble it in black. It is actually one of the hardest, I'd say, that challenges me to get it pure black all the time. So, you know, if I have to do something, you know, like that lovely little pussycat that I've done, Poppy, it's surprising how difficult it is to actually put detail in when you're doing just black. So don't be shy and think to yourself, oh, it's going to be a walk in the park, that is. You'll be very surprised with how you sort of go with it. But please stick to it and have a go. Right, let's do that. Right, okay, so he's got hairy legs. He's there. He's doing something. Needs... Honestly, doesn't it just... It needs some sort of razor or something, doesn't it? Right, let me grab some. That's made me laugh. Let me get me black paint. Right, let me get my little pan. So it is Kuretake, yeah, Ganzi Tambi black paint. There you go, dead easy. I've just said it like that. No, and all that. Bless you. Right then, so let's give it a squirt of water. That would help. There we go. So I'm going to put the water, I'm going to let it do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring that black out on that and just bring his head out basically. Because he's just not looking... He's just not looking savage enough for me, as you do. Let me just, let's just bring that here. Now, if you sort of think to yourself, need this, need that, by all means, do what you need to do. But just remember, you are now on pencils. You've got to think of the texture that you're going to be leaving behind and how you're going to be blending on that. So he's now starting. Let me just have a little bit of wet there. He's now starting to do something. Yay ho. Perfect. There we go. So face now. Now I've got to just be careful, because for one, I'm going to put my hand in there, and then for two, just want to get some. So I'm going to put the eyes in with white. So I don't want to lose my. Obviously, the whole part of this is to show you that we're doing it with the Venus. Oh, okay. We're going to call her Venus. Like it. Savage Venus. Like it. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to just take a couple of bits out here and there. And again, don't worry if this isn't what you want to do. Don't do it. It's all about you gaining your own confidence. And for one, just watching this could be a big thing for some of you with regards to triggers and stuff like that. So you do you, as I always say, yeah? Forget whatever rubbish comes out of my gob, because that's how it goes sometimes. Let's get a bright red. Let me just go back into old Gansy Tamby Diddly Doodah. Let me get, oh, that looks a nice red. What's that one? Red. There we go. Red. Simple as. Let me squirt a bit of water. And don't forget, when you are using these, make sure they're fully dry before you tilt them or anything, because otherwise you're just going to end up with your paint disappearing out the pan. So I just want to bring that lovely red, which is absolutely... I can't fault these paints, if I'm honest with you. If you've got acrylics or whatever, use whatever you've got. You know, this isn't about you've got to buy this, you've got to buy that. Use what you've got, okay? Plain and simple. And don't worry if the paint blends in with the black. You know, something that actually gives it a little bit more oomph, a bit of texture. Put a bit under the undercarriage if you want to. You know, why ever not? Make up our own version. Make it up as you go along, eh? There we go. Right, so I'm quite liking the look of that now. Now we need to put a face, and I'm just going to put this back over here, folks. So it's in the pan set over in yonder. And now I want something thin now, brush wise, because I just want to put a couple of 8 eyes in, as you do. So I'm just going to give it a little squirt there, just to put a little bit of water with whatever's in my lid. And I need a very fine brush now. The only thing I'm finding with some of these brushes I've got, and I've got some very, very ruby red legs. Oh, hello. Ruby red legs. We could put a bit of red highlight on the legs, I suppose. Why ever not? Let me get the old ink back out. There we are. There we go. Now, some of these, so this is a 0/3, quite fine. But when you think about it, some of these are fine, but they're not. So just make sure you're happy with what you're using before you start using it. And I'm going to, which I don't normally do, but I'm going to just come down a little bit. So apologies if my head bops into view. But for one, I just want to sort of, now this is where Mr. sort of Diddly Doodah, this is where things might get a little bit iffy for some of you guys. Now, there isn't 20 million watts, so I'm just putting a couple of highlights in places. Now, especially if I'm going to put a bit of red in as well. Now, I can move this white up, as you all know. This is what I love about this white. It actually moves and does what it needs to do, which is fabulous. So don't be shy to have a go. Yeah. And just remember, you've got all these little bends in these spiders' legs. Okay, now I will need that out for the other brush, but what I'm going to do, because somebody says, Lisa, that light bulb could even become a hot air balloon. Boom, there we go, Mama. I want to see your hot air balloon. So already you're all thinking outside the box, which, you know, something, absolutely fabulous. You know, it'll be lovely if I see either in Tracy's group or some of you tag on my page in regards to, you know, I've had a go. Absolutely brilliant. Go for it, you know. This is where your creative imagination is you. Just have a play. Now, I am just going to put a couple of red bits because I know with this particular species, it sort of has little bits here and there. And I'm just going to bring, I don't want to put white everywhere, but I'm just going to bring a little bit just around this area here, just where that leg area is. And then I am going to play around with a bit of white around there as well. So the key for this is just keeping your brush clean. I'm going to let that sort of dry, and then I'm going to start building up the background as you do. Because we've got Mr. Weird Spider doing his thing at the minute. I've got red there if I need it. Black wants to come and say hello. Hi, how are you doing? Put white there and put that. In fact, I'm going to put that pan over there. And I'm just going to blast this dry a sec. So don't be shy, pick it up, move it around, make sure it is dry on the paper. There we go. I'm happy with that. That will do. Right, let me just put that over there. Put that up there, out the way. I'm losing my space. Oh, a little devil. Right, let's put that over there. Okay, let's put them over there, and there you go, sorted. Right, now, background. So, I want like a webbing. It's going to be dark. I want to put more detail in the spider, but I want to actually pull together first just some sort of little bits and bobs. So, you could... Oh, crumbs. Wreckage. Love it. You could use your zig pens. So I've got black, and I've got black in the brush marker, whichever you want to do. And you could, if you wanted to, just flick up little bits here and there, just so you've got that different sort of colouring going on your paint. And again, it's up to you. So while this is drying, while I'm doing the background, this should be dry on here. And if I don't like it, this is a watercolour base, so I know that I can quite easily put water on this and totally change it if I don't like it. So all I'm going to do is just flick. Actually, I could do like a bit of a ziggy-zaggy sort of motion. And again, I'm mindful of where those little legs are. And then obviously I've got to think about his little... his sort of little bits there, and then there's usually a second sort of bit at the front here with them. So again, all I'm going to do here is just, because I want to do that highlight around here, I'm just going to put that black there. And that, to be fair, how it's hitting and how it's dry. Sorry, Pippa. Papa watch from the big... Oh, bless you. Imagine the cost of... Oh, well, yeah. Won't go there with that one. They're a small fortune. I like my Louis Vuittons. Fabulous. There we go. Right then. So I have now got sort of an area there which I could quite easily... Is that me white luminance? Yep, okay. Where I could just put a few little line stripes, tweaks, and that will give me a highlight if that's what I wanted to do. And I do want that sort of... I'm watching the star. Oh, bless you, Pippa. It's all right, sweetie. Dear me. Just joined. Well, there you go. Thanks for joining, Pippa. It's just another interesting way to do stuff with what you've got in your collection. Basically, this is. So I'm just doing it so it looks like hair, but it also looks like we've got that little bit of a highlight just around this area here. And you could be as rough or as ready as you want sort of thing on this. But don't forget, he's got a head where there'll probably be a little bit of a light catching there. So don't forget to put a little bit of a highlight up there as well. Obviously there's going to be paint and that off there, so wipe it, scribble it off, do whatever you need to do. So let's get the background in. Oh, there we go. So webbing. Hello, Lynn. All I'm going to do now is very, very lightly, and I am using Tracy's lovely brushes. It's just move around. Now, Tracy has got an offer with, if you buy 3, which is what I've done. So, you know, there is a bulk offer on these, which is fabulous, by the way. I always let you know when I find a bargain. Right, so I've obviously got a thing with me, my little baubles and God knows what else. So I'm just going to grab. I've got quite a few now. I'm collecting these things. So I'm going to do some of these smaller ones. And all I'm going to do is just sort of just wiggle it over a little bit, to be fair. And you'll be really surprised with what is on your brush. So don't be so shy to keep loading up your brush just to sort of add sort of things in the background, because it's already there, which is like, you really will be surprised. Now, instead of just putting all of one colour on, I am going to get a little bit of ground espresso because it's dark, and I'm just going to sort of mix it with the black sort of thing, and I'm going to just sort of. Now, I ain't too worried if things move when it comes to me and stencils. Don't bother me. But some of you guys might not want that to happen. So if that's the case, hold it down or tape it, whatever your preference is. You know, don't let my madness sort of take you off the cuff sort of thing. Do what you normally do. All right. Because it don't bother me. We've all got certain ways that we like to do things, yeah? And if you like to sort of tape down and have God knows what on the go, you go for it, all right? So I'm just doing, for me, it's just, I'm being quick. And I can't be asked, if I'm honest with you. I have got tape about because I used it earlier. Right, so at the minute now, we have got all sorts, still sitting the same way. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Well, at the end of the day, it's one of them. If you like what you see, then you can always go back to the beginning and watch it then, isn't it? That's what I always say anyway. You know, you might not like how it ends up. And then if you do like how it ends up, you might think, oh, I'm going to go and watch that now and see how she does that. Right, so I'm just going over it again. So I'm taking away some of the bubbles, or whatever you want to call them. And then I'm just watching now because I am getting handprints, but I don't care. So if you're doing it, be mindful that you're going to end up with bubbles and God knows what going here, there and everywhere. Now, for my next little bit, for my next trick, oh dear man, I don't know, I'm in one of them moods today. Let me just wipe, because I can see I'm getting a little bit messy underneath. There we go, sorted. So, the next thing I want to do is get my pan pastel, and I want to do some layers because I want a bit of foliage. So, I am going to do a similar foliage to because I want some webs to go onto it. So, I'm just getting, again, one of Tracy's lovely brushes. And all I'm going to do is I am just going to just put a little bit of misting in places where I'm thinking, shall I, shan't I? Or if I'm unsure, I'm just going to play around with areas, if you get what I mean. Okay. So I am definitely wanting to put a little bit up here. Even though I've not put anything down, I want a base. Yes, you'll be surprised now how things pop in different areas as we're starting to bring it together. So Tracy, now I love these. This is my favourite stamp, TE50. Yeah, running across the pebble floor. You know, if you've got them fancy paint, you know, that fancy flooring. I haven't, but there you go. I love this. So you could now put some mushrooms in this. You could build up however you want. Now, if you haven't got this stamp, anything with sort of tree or stalky, anything, you know. There's plenty of brands out there that all you guys have got that you think to yourself, oh my God, I could use that there and use it, you know. It makes no difference to me at all. You use what you've got. And if you haven't got the light bulb, what other stencils have you got that could be a shape of something, or change it to something? Because that's all this is. I'm giving you an idea to change something. That's all it is. So I'm going to start building up a little bit of an area now. So I've started. The reason why I put that little bit of pan pastel down is I just want to give a little bit of an area that could be sort of cobwebby, because obviously we have this gorgeous little spider now, Mr. Lightbulb, that's going to be running across the page. I actually really need to stop watching demos. It's all right. They're only here to give you an idea. And this is what I love about doing these, because you guys really do sort of look past things and think, I can do that. I'm going to have a go at that. And that's what I love. It's the fact that I've put an idea in your head, whether it's me or Sissy or, you know, anybody that you like to watch, follow. Now, I've gone quite heavy here because I actually want to put a lot of cobwebs. It's costing you a fortune. Use what you have then. Stop buying. I'm not doing this to get you to keep buying things at the end of the day. I'm doing this to show you different techniques. Plain and simple. Well, I'm not going to do it. See, I've just put that down. I don't want to do it because if you overdo it, you'll kill it, literally. Right, so let me move that out the way. I am going to use that back in a second, though. So, in fact, I'll leave that because I know I am going to use it in a second. But let me just wipe this up a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to put some more pan pastel on now because I want the layer. And this is going to give me that sort of, because I've still got wet ink on here, because the Versa is still wet, hasn't dried off yet. It's going to give me that interpretation now of webbing. Now, obviously, we've got Halloween coming, so this is perfect for you to practice your cobwebs. Now, I love doing cobwebs, which you'll tell in a minute when I start doing my cobwebs. I like to be as realistic as I possibly can. I like to give as much detail and as depth as I possibly can. So I'm hoping this might give you a little bit of a heads up to inspire you to put a bit of depth into some of your creations now that you're going to do with pumpkins and spiders and witches, no doubt. I don't think you have any light bulbs on your list. Oh, crumbs. Dear me. Right, so what I'm going to do now. Oh, you guys, you do make me chuckle. Got to try and be tidy here. It ain't working now. There we go. Right, so what I'm going to do here is we've got that sort of misting area now, which is giving us that that sort of cobweb vibe, yeah? And then you only need one or two to go over to give you that second layer, okay? Now, this is all about layers. As you know me, I absolutely love my layers as I'm making. And that's what makes my cards pop a little bit more than some of yours. It's just because I put those additional layers. Plonk for cobwebs with me feather. Oh, dear me. I've got a lot of cobwebs in there. Not that I'm saying I'm a dirty person, by the way, but in my conservatory, I leave some of the cobwebs up, so it just there's a lot of flies that can come in when all the windows are open. So at least I'm sort of helping a little community. When it gets too much, the hoover comes up and then they go for a journey. Then I empty it and then they go out and go and survive somewhere else, as you do. Now, I'll digress now. So, cobwebs. Now, I want a load of cobwebs to come down here. I want them to come round here. I want them to come onto these flowers and I want it to go over. So I could because this is so black and so dark and like nothing's going on with it, I want some cobwebs to actually come across. And so we're actually looking into that sort of spider's lair. So, and this is the brush that I'm going to use. Now, this is a number 1 Fumi. And these are amazing. Yes, it went in my gob because I saw a loose hair. Now, with this, I'm going to shift everything out the way because, sorry if I've just moved everybody. Let me try and move you back. There we go. I am wanting to sort of bring this around and down. And I will be going into... hi, Sally. Oh, Ben's cleaning the kitchen. Oh, crumbs, what you like. Hopefully he's not cleaning the spiders up then. I love it. Right, I'm going to turn this over so the eye's not distracted by other things. Now, I am going to put some water down on here. I'm going to move these out the way because I don't want my brushes. Now this is something else what I'll say as well. If these get wet, they need to be dried. I like them to be dry when I'm using them, by the way, because they're that fluffy and nice. If they get wet and clump up, bad move. So I'm going to put some water down here, and I'm going to put this lovely hair, and these, unfortunately, these are real as well. Not a lot I can do about it, but that's how they came. And I'm going to dip it in, and there is a blob on there, okay, as you guys can see. Yeah, blob on there. And then I'm going to put it down here where I can see it, and then I'm going to put a bit of water to it, because when I start now with the cobweb, I want to sort of have a cobweb going across, and I want to bring it across, and then if it's not running like a solid line, then you add a little bit of water. So you need to have that water white blend there. Now, as we all know, spiders' webs go all over the place, and they look all funky monkey, and they go everywhere, and then they fly down, and then before you know it, it's like, what on earth? Now, you see how light that is? You see how delicate that line is? These brushes are amazing. Now, I want to bring it down, and I want to bring it down onto here. And don't worry if you sort of hit places and then it goes somewhere else. Just do a lot of crisscrosses, because you're not going to have a spider's web that sort of has got these, you know, like that you see in the cartoons, which is like, it's like a little, it's all what you see out in the garden. What you see out in the garden is what's out in the garden, you know. I can quite easily take this and go like dup, de dup, de dup, de dup. Yep. However, we're looking in her web, in her little home, basically. And in her home, she is literally, she has like a funnel. It's like a funnel effect. And all over the place, we've got a misting, we've got all that sort of indent, sort of, it's quite dense, to be fair. When you actually look inside the funnel of a spider, it's like quite heavy, you know, lines and movement and sort of bits that are coming round. And don't worry about sort of bits here and bits there. The light will catch this. As if you look at a web now, if you've got a web somewhere, you will actually look and think to yourself, wow, you know, it's like, yeah, there's like some sort of like little blast or something going on, isn't there? People, have you got a light bulb in a box? You know something, you can actually get a light bulb and actually put pipe cleaners on them and turn them into some fabulous little things if you do stuff like that with the grandkids. There's some brilliant stuff that you can actually do. So as you can see now, I'm just doing loads of random lines, which are, with those circles, it's giving you that sort of proper look that we've got something really cool going on with minimal effect as well. So we've not really, you know, gone OTT. And I love the fact that every now and again I get a really big blob of white, and that just pulls your eye everywhere else. Now I'm going to go probably, don't worry and don't sort of think, oh, I'm going to ruin it. You can't ruin this. It's a spider's web. Start at your corners if you need to. Yeah, so I'm putting more white on now. Now you can see how I'm building it up. And I'm building it up sort of, you know, like how if you had, what's the brush? I know, I'm going to have to find the name of them. It's a set of 5. Well, there's a set of 3 and a set of 5. I've got the set of 5. But these are like fine line detail brushes, basically. Because I had my other brushes, and I had to replace them. I had to find something which would do the trick. And these are do the trick. Most definitely do the trick. So, obviously the other ones are thicker. So this is the thinnest of them. And as you can see, the detail and the thin I'm getting is perfect. Yeah, this is perfect for Halloween. Perfect. And as Diane says, we could quite easily get Tracy's lovely pumpkins and really sort of go to town on it. Now, I am going to start coming across. Just a little bit. Don't overdo it. So if you're following and you want to play along, go for it. So all I'm doing is just a little bit here, a little bit there. Okay. Whoop, got a little bit of a, what's it? So now what I'm going to do now is I actually want to put a little bit, just need a bit more of a white. So let me just dip that in. And that's the best thing with this now. It's sort of, you can really sort of put as much or as little of this white as you want on. There we go. That's perfect. And again, don't overdo it. Don't ruin it. You're actually doing a fabulous job of just those little glided lines if you're following along. And if you're not, you know what to do and what not to do now. Use a drop of shimmer. Yeah, you could do. I would have put something like that on, but I want it to be as raw and as natural as I could possibly get it. And if I put a drop of shimmer onto it, I don't think it would have given me that, what I was looking for, if that makes sense. So I'm going to just turn this around now, because I'm trying to get, well, saying that, it's a light bulb with legs at the minute, so it's like, what am I talking about? But you can quite easily just do a couple of little highlights up here if you want. Now, this brush is absolutely fabulous if you just wanted to do little tiny sort of, but you've got to have the movement in your wrist to do it. So if you do suffer with any joint problems, arthritical or anything like that, it ain't going to happen. So I'll be totally honest with you now. So, you know, don't buy the brushes if you have problems with keeping your you know, in a certain place sort of thing. All right. So I wouldn't want you to waste your money, because they're not, well, I say they're not cheap. They're not mega expensive. However, they're not cheap, if you get what I mean. Yeah. So let me just see if I can put down a little bit of, put these two down. So you've got, obviously your zig pens. Now, if I put a little bit of water to that, you can do the same with that, and then just add a couple of flicks into that if that's what you want to do, you know. And again, it's, you know, world's your oyster sort of thing. If you want a bit of highlights and lowlights, you know, at the end of the day, light catches things differently. So it's not always about having a white, a solid white. You might think to yourself, well, hold on, there's a bit of a dark there, there's a dark shadow, and it's just caught it that way. So look at what you're doing in the fact of, you know, can you see a darker sort of shadow like there, you know? Right, so there we go. Now you can see where you've had, obviously, where I've put the paint down on here. You can see all those different little areas on that. Let me just clean the brush. Let's do that. And I'm just going to wipe this over here, because I don't want to put my card or my hand into that. That wouldn't be very nice, would it? Right, so there we go. These are the only ones I actually do put, the plastic back on. I don't normally bother. It's all right. Love you millions. Maggie Moo. Bye, bye, bye. See you soon, boo-boo. So again, you know, you do you in that. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Love ya. You do you in that sense. So don't go out and buy things that you don't. That is a sleeper. Oh, hello. A sleeper jour pencil. Oh, don't know. Well, whatever one of them is, it sounded interesting. There you go. I'm hoping that's a spider. Bye, guys. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, bless you. So that gives you an idea with a light bulb. And I'm going to matte and layer it. But there's the other light bulb, you see. So we've got two different light bulbs. Let me matte and layer this. Let me just get... I'm going to do black onto this one. Let me just grab a black piece of card. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. I think that's black, yes. Let me just only need one. So I'm going to do black, definitely. And let me just grab... Now, this is a grey. And I think this grey complements really, really well. So I am going to do the same as what I've done with this one. And I'm going to pop that down, and I'm going to pop the black so it brings everything else out, which will be nice. So I'm not too worried with it going on the back of there. Let me just quickly, love the trying to find your brush. I love it. You can never find the brush. So if you go onto the Fumi site, I have got a code which gives you 15% off as well. Just so you're aware. It is, if you want it, just give me a shout and I can send it to you. With regards to those particular brushes, if you put in fine line of brushes, it should come up no problem at all for you. So let me just grab. So I'm using the We Are layering guide, and there's 3 in a set, and I'm going to use the number 3, which is giving you the big chunky junkies. So let me just put that over here a second. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to edge. Let me move everything out of the way before I chop my fingers out. It just proves that you've got all this lovely stuff in your stashes, and sometimes you don't see what you've actually got. Sometimes you just got to look at something different. It's like you've said to me about a balloon. You know, one of you got rigger brush. Yeah, you can get rigger brushes. They're quite cool. These are actually liner brushes. So these are fine liner brushes, and trust me, they are fine liner brushes. Look at the line. Look at that. I would say, oh, look at the lines on that. Sounds wrong though, doesn't it? But you know what I mean. I'm being jokeful and what's it, but. There's a lot of it's not a case of, oh, go out and buy X, Y, and Z. Only buy what you need. If you don't do a lot of fine line work, don't bother. If you've got a load of bigger brushes, chop some of the brushes down. I've done that many a time, and they've lasted me well. They have sale. They're 24 instead of 43. If they're 24 instead of 43, then I've got 10. I think it's 15% off as well on top of that. So it all helps, do you know what I mean? So let me know if you want that code. If you've already got the code, use it. It's there. Use it. And it gives you 15% off, which is absolutely fabulous. Let me just butt that up to there, butt that up to there. Thanks and yes, please. That's what I like to hear. Bless you. I'll send it you. Or if you look on YouTube, on the memberships, it's actually in all the membership stuff. There is an actual thing. I think it's Lisa 15, but it is actually in there. So if you are wanting the code, I'm sure it's Lisa 15. But if you go and have a look, Alison, and then I'm more than happy for it to be shared. So it's no problem at all to be shared on here. So I'm happy with that. Have I done that end? Did I do all them ends? Have I lost the plot? Are they all done? Oh, I think I've done them all. There we go. Right then, so. Hi Marie, how are you? So, let me just diddly-doo-dah. So, we have got the garden spider, which is the other light bulb. And then we've got the black widow, who's in her little, I just saw your post on paper craft. Oh, fabulous. There we go then. So, you've managed to find us. So, we've done spiders tonight. Brilliant for Halloween. Not brilliant if you don't like them. So my apologies. This is so cute. Oh, look at you. I like you. Cute. I mean, half of the people have said, oh, don't want to look. And then I've got somebody coming in saying cute. Absolutely fabulous. I like you. You can come again. Love it. Right. So let me just shift things out the way. So, well, it's gone past pimple past there. So what I'll do is I might actually do this as a bit of a freebie in the membership group then, because there's a couple of you that have said that you like it, a couple of you that are in the memberships. So what I might do is I might just pop that one in, just so you can see all the detail and bits and pieces and everything else. But you get the gist of it, yeah? So these are 2 stencils basically. So what I need you to start doing is looking at what you've got in all of the stamps and stencils and goodness me, whatever else that you've got, yeah? And actually look and say to yourself, what does that look like? What can I turn it into? So tonight I have used a light bulb, 2 light bulbs basically, SS9 and SS8. SS8 is the Black Widow and SS9 is the Garden Spider. They both had similar effects in the fact that I've used TE50. The only difference is on the first one I used TE33 and put the little fly in here. Okay, so let me just quickly have a look, see if I can get you that code first of all. So let me just let me have a look, see if I can place it on my, let me see, right, okay, can I put a thing on here? Right, what I'm going to do is Lisa 15 right now, so all lowercase and all together, I believe. And if it's not, I'm hoping if I've put it down as all lowercase 15, so Lisa 15, LISA 15, all together. And if you go on to the site, which is Fumu or something like that, FUUMUUI, that is where I get, to be fair, I use the majority of my brushes from there. All of these are theirs. This is obviously a squirrel hat. As you've already purchased yours, go you. But yeah, obviously it gives you 15% off, especially when they've got offers on and they're doing half price stuff as well. You get that additional, so it all mounts up at the end of the day, especially if you're already going to purchase it, so it's all good in that sense. So look at what you've got, look at whether you can think, what can that be? Now we've already said that's a hot air balloon. I can put the lines down, a little basket. Yeah, there we go. You know, I mean, what could that be? That could be lots of little petals. That would look quite nice as petals. That might be something we look at. But then what else have you got? Oh, fabulous. Thank you, Marie. So you're going to get this as a freebie then. I'll do that next week for you. That's be a free one. And then if you've subscribed, you'll be getting this. Will be the one we're doing, and that's an A5, so it is a big piece. All right, anything that I put into the memberships for you guys will be available, full stop, end of story. All right, so they won't be taken down, they'll always be there for catch up, so you can go into there as much as you like. You just got extra stuff, you know. So there we go. Thank you so very much. I did wonder how he was going to turn out, if I'm honest, and I quite like what we've got, to be fair. I think the cobwebs make it, in the sense of it's just something different, and them little bits of drop shadow. Marie, if you're watching, I hope your operation went well. Oh, yes, definitely. Oh, I don't know whether she's on, actually. I don't think she is, you know. She's probably laid up heavily under the influence of drugs, no doubt, bless her cottons. But look at what you've got and really, really look at the different things that what you can actually do with them, because I love tweaking things in different ways. So we've got 2 fabulous spiders, perfect for Halloween cards, or you can get the grandkids, give them, draw a bulb and say, right, turn it into a spider. You know, as daft as it is, give them a little reference picture and think to yourself, you know, how can we do it, you know, at the end of the day. Yes, definitely so, bless. Hopefully she's on the recovery, bless her cotton. So we'll send our love to Marie, who's had a knee operation. Hopefully it's not been cancelled, because that seems to be the bit of a thing at the moment. But yeah, play around with that, and we'll start looking at some Halloweeny things with twists, you know. So have fun. I'm going to log out with these guys over here on Facebook first of all. So I'll say a quick hello to Yvonne. Thanks for staying on. Sue, Mom, Trevor, hi. Karen, hi. Man, Sissy Purrs, Anzilia, Helma, Deirdre, Jane, hi. Lexi, hi. All you got, love. Thank you so much for joining. That's what we got. A funky light bulb looking Black Widow thing. So I'll say bye to you guys. So that's you guys gone. So, and I'll just give you, let me just click buttons. Oh, post now. Ooh, fabulous. That's an odd one. It's never come up like that before. There you go then. Post away. Post away. Bless it. Let me just put that there. Right, there we go. Sorted. Let me go off there. Right, so you guys, let me just grab you off. Normal bit. So, yeah, they look all right. Since it's a light bulb, it's quite a funky light bulb. 2 light bulbs. I'm really looking forward to that. The picture didn't do it any justice at all. There's a lot going on that. It's going to be a really good make, that is, by the way. And then obviously I'm going to post that in as an additional for you guys, okay? But yeah, Carnage is here. I've got nothing on the floor, been quite clean and tidy. But yeah, there we go. So have fun. And what are we on now? Tuesday. Thursday. Oh, let's see what I can make for Thursday. It might be something relaxing Thursday, maybe something easy. Very easy. We will see. So have fun, enjoy. I'm glad you've enjoyed these with the 2 different stencils. Can't wait to see your interpretation. So love to you all. I'll see you all later. Bye for now.